The CEO of Stellantis, Carlos Tavares, has resigned.
Good old Carlos, he's gone. Here's some things that he accomplished in 2024. It's not good. It's a good thing he's gone.
Right now, more than 1,000 Jeep workers will be without a job at the start of the year.
Yes, Stellantis says it is scaling back production of its Gladiator pickup. And we've got live team coverage as the cuts loom just after the holidays.
More big changes for Stellantis, which means 400 layoffs at a key logistics site, with no sign of any of this ending soon.
Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares says nothing is off the table as the company tries to turn around its sagging profits. He told reporters at the Paris Auto Show that he's even considering plant closures.
He also said eliminating brands would be an option to help the company's bottom line. The automaker's profits are down almost 50% compared to this time last year.
Yeah, what happened to the company's sales? I mean, why did they drop so dramatically, Sean?
So under Tavares' leadership, the company actually initially edged out its rivals like General Motors and Ford on the U.S. market during the pandemic, as low inventories caused by supply chain disruption favored sales for higher-end car models, which Stellantis produced. But Tavares conceded he should have changed tack in 2024, saying he'd been, quote, arrogant. This year, sales dramatically fell when consumers were less willing to pay for these same models, possibly hurt by years of inflation and high interest rates. All while Stellantis failed to launch enough new offerings. Its share price, as we saw just earlier, fell close to 40% in the last year. And global sales fell more than 27%, with sales and income in the U.S. dropping 36%, while they fell 17% in Europe and 26% in Africa and the Middle East. As you can see there, the poor performance in the U.S. underlined by American dealerships. One group of them wrote an open letter to Tavares in September, blaming him for disastrous choices in handling the U.S. market, notably its dated vehicle lineup, which bloated their inventories. A new CEO should be named sometime in the first half of 2025. Meanwhile, an interim executive committee will be led by the chairman of the group, John Elkann.
When you go to the
we're
restaurants,
a long ways from that happening.
You need to
here in the
see that.
United States.
So that's an infrastructure that needs to be set up.
And we really still are. I'm either going to buy an ICE car or a Tesla. That's still where we are right now. I don't want to buy an electric Jeep.
Yeah, I know this year, Stellantis is going to bring to the U.S. market only 8 new pure BEVs this year. And Stellantis in the world will have, by the end of this year, 48 BEV models.
And here's the problem with that. They have not put out 8 BEV model vehicles or 8 electric vehicles or power assisted by electric vehicles at all. Not that I'm aware of. So they've already failed that. And they're supposed to have the new Dodge Charger EV vehicles out by the end of 2024, and no one has one. And they're bricked at dealerships. They're not charging. They're not turning on. The ones that have been delivered, they are having major issues, and it's because of Carlos. Carlos was pushing the EVs and no other new vehicles to the market for Stellantis, or should I say Dodge in this case, in the U.S. market, and that's why the U.S. market is failing. They should have put out the ICE vehicles first, EVs and hybrids next. That's what they should have done. Let's actually go to Dodge's website and see what vehicles they're even offering. And there it is, just the Hornet, the 2023 Charger, the 2023 Challenger, and the Durango. Now, let's put the elephant out of the room. The Durango is fine. The Durango is fine. The fact that they still have the Hellcat, which that's kind of a controversy in itself, because they said when they first released it, it was going to be a special edition and they're never going to do any more. And then they said the same thing again, and here we are. It's still here. So this is fine, though, overall. I don't think we can argue that the Durango is sticking around, being an ICE vehicle, even the Hellcat variant. That's fine. But the Hornet has sold like hot garbage. I think it's a lot of the pricing, it's a lot of the looks, it's the engines. Where is the GLH model? If you want a Hornet to sell, a fast Hornet, would probably sell. Where is the GLH model? It is no longer here. My intuition is telling me that the GLH model was going to be all electric. Well, no one wants all electric, right? So that's not going to fly. Why not shove a 6-cylinder in here with the powertrain of the hybrid system that they have and have it make 600 horsepower? Make it all-wheel drive. Make it rip. Because the interiors on these are okay. They're not trash. They're not fantastic. They're okay. Let me see if I can actually find a photo of the interior. I've sat in one of these myself. It's okay. It's not anything to write home about. It's okay. It is okay. The seats actually were comfortable. I have sat in one of these. The seats were comfortable. It's okay. The tech is there. It's okay. But if it's 600 horsepower all-wheel drive electrically assisted on top of that, the thing would rip and it'd be fun. And if it was like 40, oh, what would be realistic? $47,000, $50,000, but that's it. Like, you can't spec it out any higher. That's it. If it's that minimum, that would be insane. They would actually have a pretty insane monopoly in that segment at that price with what it would be. It would be insane. But from all we know, the GLH goes like hell model is not coming because it was probably going to be all electric. So Carlos Tavares, thank goodness he's gone. We're going to probably see the return of Dodge, the return of horsepower, maybe even some cool horsepower wars popping up all over again because of these hybrid systems and the performance vehicles. Dodge might go all in on that, and we can have our V8 engines, the electrified part 2, and have really serious, fast vehicles on the market once again from Dodge. Something different, something new, but something fast. So it's actually a good thing Carlos is gone. We will see what will happen to Dodge. I feel like everything's going to be revitalizing. It's going to take a couple years, but things are looking in the right direction already. This was nice and sudden, which is a good thing, and we'll see what happens moving into the future. That's it with me. Smash the like button. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hey, Joe, this is not a huge surprise. A surprise that is immediate, but not a huge surprise in terms of it's been known for some time within the auto industry that Carlos Tavares and the Stellantis board were not on the same page. Well, it all spilled out into the open yesterday when Tavares immediately resigned from the company. The independent director for the company issuing a statement saying in recent weeks, different views have emerged which have resulted in the board and the CEO coming to today's decision. Look, Stellantis has been a world of hurt over the last year. Q3 sales in the United States down 20%. Why? A glut of vehicles, because in the first half of this year, Carlos Tavares, and he's even said, look, I was arrogant keeping our prices high, keeping production as high as it was, and as a result, dealers were furious that they were having so many vehicles essentially flooding the new vehicle market when it comes to Jeep and Ram. Their sales suffered as a result. First half profit for the company overall, negative 48%.